And we're back out here for another video. Today we're going for a little walk. It's raining just a little bit, so I have my hood up. Today I wanted to talk about Couch to 5K. So this video is a little bit, actually it's about 3 months in the making. I've been trying to get in better shape, and I've been doing that through some running. And for me, never been a runner. Hated running long distance pretty much my entire life. It was never my thing. I liked riding mountain bikes, skateboarding, everything but running. Don't know why I hated running so much, but I did. Either way, I wanted to try to get better at it. Before I turned 40, I kind of want to try to run a longer distance race, whether that's a 10K or a half marathon. I haven't picked yet, but either of those are on the table, and it's the eventual goal. To see if that was an attainable goal, I decided to try a Couch to 5K app. So the one in particular that I chose was one by the developer called Active. Picture here to the app, and also link below to these apps. In this video, I hope to give you a little bit of an idea of who I think would benefit from something like this app, things to consider before starting this app, and some of the cons of the app. Because again, nothing's perfect. So I'm also going to create a secondary video, which basically has little like 30-second to camera pieces that I recorded at the end of each of the runs over the first 5 weeks of running with the app. It's going to be kind of a long video, so go check that out if you want to see it. If not, just watch this video, you get an overview. Let's start out with what I really liked about the app, and what I think is really good about the app. This Couch to 5K app has all of the normal features you'd expect. Integration with various fitness devices, competitive leaderboards, stat tracking. The voices are very good. Integrated media player is okay. I didn't use it. I ended up using Spotify the whole time, but still, good feature to have. All of the features seemed to work as intended. Nothing really went wrong. It was always reliable, even when I didn't have cell signal, which I think is important to consider when looking at one of the run apps, because when you go out for a run, you're not always gonna have spectacular data service, and having that offline experience be as good as the online experience is a big plus. The next benefit for me is that it does not stay on your one device. This app does have an account that you have, syncs to a, I guess, web server. And so if you change phones, change devices, whatever you do, your data can come with you, syncs across platform. The last big plus for me is that the app was easy to use. It was easy to jump in, easy to get started, and also easy to repeat workouts. We're gonna come to this towards the end of the video. All of the different functions that I wanted felt like they were there. It never felt like there was something I wish the app had, which is a big benefit, I think. If you want to start using this app, here are some tips I would give you before starting out. First and foremost, get good running shoes. Not just any old shoes. Get a good pair of either dedicated training shoes or running shoes. Something that'll give you good support for your feet, something that'll keep you relatively comfortable, and again, just help you run as good as you possibly can. Because if you have the wrong footwear, you're gonna hurt your joints, you're gonna hurt your feet. It's gonna be no fun for anybody. Second, have a good pair of headphones, because this app does use audio cues to help you, and also it's good to have some music while you're out running. Have a good pair of workout headphones that are comfortable to you, will stay in your ears. I think it's an excellent little addition to have before you start running. Next tip for using this app, don't be afraid to repeat workouts. It tracks multiple different sessions of a workout. So if you don't feel like you did well that week, or you want to repeat that week, or you feel like you're struggling a little bit too much, and you want to take some extra time to kind of get to that next level or next week, just repeat workouts. Do it again. I did it twice during my time using the app. I did it for week 4 because I was having a little bit of congestion issues. And I also did it during week 2 because, again, it rained, weather was weird, didn't get a chance to run 2 days in that week, and I just didn't feel comfortable kind of continuing from there. I wanted to get a fresh start on the week, so I just started on day 1 of that week and ran through it again. I think that's a really good mentality to take when learning to run, because you don't want to push yourself too hard. You don't want to just plow ahead because you feel like you have to, or you feel like the app is telling you to. Take it at your own speed. Use this as a tool to help you get in better shape. In addition to taking your time when it comes to each week, I would also recommend during runs, if you don't feel like you have everything in you to finish that section of the run, press pause. There's a great pause button in the app that allows you to pause a section of the workout, maybe take a break, take a stretch. I was having some tightness in my shins and calves during some of the runs, and so I just took a second, paused, took a minute to stretch, drink some water, and continued on the run and finished it out. Great feature. I think it's one of my favorite little pieces inside the app. You also do have a fast forward and a backwards button, so if you do want to skip a walk or continue running, or if you have to skip that portion of the run, you can. You have that option. And that's, again, comes down to the fact that I think this is a very feature-rich app and a great way to introduce you to running. Let's move on to the cons, and I want to start with one of the biggest kind of stumbling blocks I had while using the app, which was the pace of progression. And while I think it actually is a good pace of progression overall, I do think for me personally, where I was not in the best cardiovascular fitness possible, it was a little struggle. I had a few little struggles, especially in weeks 3, where there was kind of a big jump in the amount of running or the distance or the time you had to run. And then week 5. Week 5 starts out pretty intense. The second day of week 5 jumps even more. And then the final day of week 5 is your first day without the actual circuit portion of it in there, and it's just straight jog. So it's definitely an intense day, an intense week. And I think those 2 weeks in particular, I wish the ramp was a little slower. I think overall it is pretty good. I did feel after finishing workouts, even though some of them I went into with a little anxiety, exiting felt great, and it really did enjoy my time with those runs and felt like I really did have a sense of accomplishment to it, which I think is kind of what they're going for. But it's something to at least be aware of, and something I definitely felt like it was accelerating pretty quickly in those 2 weeks in particular. Beyond the difficulty ramp, the one last kind of con for any of these types of apps is that they really aren't truly couch to 5K. If you are completely inactive, if you've never really done a lot of exercise in your life, you may struggle to get those first weeks under your belt. It may be a real challenge. So I would actually recommend, if you really haven't had any experience, or you are coming from a completely sedentary life, I would take those first weeks very slowly. Maybe do the first day a couple of times over, or even just try doing it at a walking pace and then a quicker walking pace. This app really does jump you into the deep end a little bit. For me, where I do still do a lot of cycling, a lot of walking, a lot of hiking, it wasn't too hard for me to make that leap, but I could see that anybody that was either in worse shape than me, more sedentary than me, or had less experience with exercise and kind of pushing yourself to those limits, that might be a pretty big challenge, and one that may turn people off to the app. To wrap everything up, I really do like this Couch to 5K app. It's one I would definitely recommend. If you do decide to do one of these Couch to 5K apps, find a friend. I found a group on Rooster Teeth called the Rope Drop Running Club, and there is where I found competition, motivation, in addition to making these videos. So please, one of the best things you can do, find a friend, go running. It'll improve your experience and give you better results overall. That would be my best suggestion. As far as this app goes, it's one that if you want to try running, I 100% approve it. I think it's one of the better 5K apps. Has all the features you want. It's reliable, it works, feature rich. Big thumbs up. If you want to learn more about my running journey, I've got a link below to the video where I basically go through every one of the days for the first 5 weeks, all 15 of them. I give you a little kind of how I feel after each run, and also show how that run went, my stats and statistics. I would really appreciate it if you go check that video out. You don't have to watch the whole thing, obviously, but I made it pretty excited and stoked about it. I have not finished my Couch to 5K journey yet. I'm still on week 6 when I make this video. So we'll make a wrap up video when I finish it completely out, and probably another video once I run my first 5K. So here's to that. Thank you all for joining me today. As always, links to all the videos I mentioned before are in the description. Go check out that additional video. Thank you all for joining me, guys. Bye.